my god, a YouTuber complaining about YouTube's policy changes? What is it, Tuesday? No, but in a serious note, this is a serious video. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of Vtubers especially, a lot of friends of mine, and a lot of not so friends of mine have gotten banned on YouTube lately. It's been a little bit crazy, a little bit hectic. I hate the rule changes, and we're gonna be talking about it, not just because rules are being changed, but because YouTube's rules are not enforced fairly. They never have been, they probably never will be, and I don't think this video itself will change anything. I just hope it amplifies the voices that are screaming in the darkness, and hopefully, maybe, possibly, YouTube could rectify some of the terrible decisions they've been making in regards to enforcing their policies. There are two types of YouTube bans, okay? There is YouTube's copyright section, where they will give you copyright strikes if you violate the copyright or whatever. And then there are the community guideline strikes. Community guideline strikes can come from all sorts of things, whether it's like some guy on YouTube is doing lately trying to torture himself and stay awake for 12 days straight, which Mutahar just covered in a video. So that got a strike for promoting self-harm. But community guideline strikes also super often is not just in regards to self-harm or incredibly edgy content, but sexual content is super duper under the YouTube radar, and YouTube is trying their very best to nuke that. Other notable cases of community guideline strikes that happens a lot are, misinformation, especially when it's dangerous misinformation. Sneeko made a lot of really awful, disgusting comments about raping other content creators, but that's not what got him banned. He got banned for misinformation. Yeah, the YouTube system is weird and it's broken and it'll never be perfect, but we aim to try. We strive to make the world a better place. As someone that has been abused both by the copyright system and the community guideline system multiple times in the past, trying to navigate myself through that as much as possible, I felt like I really wanted to make this video and talk about it with an inside perspective of all the awful nightmare scenarios that a lot of people are going through. Now, I want to preface by saying, if anyone has issues with the YouTube copyright system, someone is trying to abuse them, let's say, and bully them into silence with false copyright strikes and trying to get their private information and all that, YouTube actually does do a very good job at trying to help them if they get in contact with them. If you or someone you know is having that problem, try to reach out to me. Maybe I can try my best to put you in contact with people to try to work that out. A good friend of mine, best guy ever, recently had his entire channel taken down by YouTube because of copyright abuse, and we actually worked it out. We got it back. It worked.
I have a lot of people to thank for it, such as Nux and Mark, who are here today, so I can say arigato gozaimasu.
When it comes to community guideline violation bans, you're unless you could stir up some sort of storm that'll make YouTube change its mind, there's really nothing you can do because it's completely arbitrary. When it comes to copyright abuse, someone is abusing the copyright system, which is a legal system, so YouTube could maybe potentially step in if they recognize that it's being done abusively. When it comes to community guidelines, it is purely up to the whims of the YouTube reviewers, and it is fucked up. So today, in this video, we're going to be talking about a few friends of mine that got banned due to the community guideline system, where unfortunately there's nothing that I know of that could be done aside from the storm option, which is why we are going down the storm path, people. First things first, I wanted to talk about my friends MxR Plays that recently got banned off YouTube. They have had a tumultuous battle with YouTube for a very, very long time. They've gotten so many false strikes and real strikes and fake strikes and shit strikes over the years for a myriad of reasons, from sexual content to promoting abusive practices and all sorts of garbage. YouTube had it out for them for a while. Admittedly, their thumbnail game was very edgy, but what really grinds my gears is the final strike that got them banned off the platform was a strike for a clip that YouTube manually approved months earlier that they retroactively decided, nope, this does violate the guidelines, and struck them down for that. That was the final strike, and that got them banned off the platform. This is a travesty, and I will be linking their Patreon in the description. They're still making content there, but for now, I want to show you the clip of where I found out that they actually got banned off YouTube from my stream, and what they actually had to say about it and describe their ban, because no one could describe their ban better than they can. So before diving into the VTuber portion of this video, which is a whole other can of worms, I want to look at this.
Checked out the channel recently. You saw that MxR Plays is terminated. And yeah, that's true. It is completely gone. We are basically officially banned from YouTube. I can no longer operate my other channels, start a new channel, or do anything on YouTube anymore.
Same probably goes for me.
and probably Genie as well.
Actually, Genie, it depends. If the channel's under Henry's name, Genie might be able to get away with it. Unless they put all their channels under the same, like, AdSense account. But otherwise, Genie might be able to get away with it. Maybe. Maybe.
We got another strike. We got a third strike. And it was on a video that was uploaded almost a year ago.
God, I hate that.
So they were okay with that video being up. They had approved it. It was on the website for almost a year with no issues. I guess they changed their mind, they changed their rules. Whatever it is, they decided to give a strike on it today. 8 days before our first strike was gonna fall off. So the timing seems absolutely...
This is awful. Where are they gonna post an update other than Patreon if YouTube won't let them? Twitter? To rile up the Twitter people? I feel like that's kind of the only move right now for them.
Impeccable there for something that is extremely not really against the rules. Okay, so the clip was basically for unwanted sexualization or non-consensual touching. Except the girl that was being non-consensually touched was smiling through the entire video, and it was also her own video that she had recorded for her Instagram.
Wait. They got banned for not consensual touching and the girl posted the video herself? Dude, YouTube. So here's the thing. I have been saying for this for a while. MxR needed to dial down his thumbnail game, and I feel like his thumbnails were awesome, okay? Henry made fucking kick-ass thumbnails that got clicks and shit. But god damn.
On her,
like, they were on YouTube's shit list for a very long time. It's so sad. God damn it.
Her Instagram page, and it is also obviously a skit.
Yeah, it's probably staged and consensual, but what the fuck? I'd get a strike for that for sure. Like, I don't even need to think about it. Oh my god. Dude, wow. Okay, listen. There was a whole ass nipple in there. Listen, that wasn't YouTube friendly. Oh, man. Oh, dude. Like, here's the thing. Here's the issue with YouTube. Like, you would think that sometimes if you upload a video, Blood Rungs, I'm not uploading this clip. Well, you could upload the clip and just blur it. But, or cut it out, whatever you want. Or just not upload the clip, whatever you want. But the thing is, when it comes to MxR Plays... Well, when it comes to YouTube, sometimes you'll upload a clip and then you'll ask YouTube for a review. YouTube will review it and tell you it's okay. And then you'll be like, okay, YouTube okayed it. And then YouTube will realize they made a mistake and give you a strike for it. That's awful.
Basically, I guess, done on YouTube. Obviously, you know.
But yeah, you'll notice, see, this is for multiple reasons. I've dialed back my my fucking degenerate game on YouTube. Partially just because I feel like I kind of outgrew that YouTube mindset in a way. Like, you know, I've evolved over my time making YouTube videos. My content has changed many times. I feel like I've kind of put some of the degenerate shit behind me to some extent. I look back at my old thumbnails and I am like, holy shit, what was I doing? No wonder I'm shadow banned on YouTube. No wonder the main channel's cooked. Yeah, I do regret a lot of my old thumbnails. They were definitely stupid of me to use. Like, I'm not gonna lie. They were dumb. They were stupid. I thought I was like towing the line, being edgy, and yeah, dumb. I regret it. It was just stupid. But it was all you're doing all along. I mean, I have no idea. It's not like YouTube will give you a reason. YouTube still denies the fact that there is shadow banning, which is obviously bullshit. Yeah, but no, I do regret doing the thumbnail game, because I'm sure that did contribute. Because there's no doubt in my mind when I look at MxR's channel that they were on the shit list because of the thumbnails.
I'm okay with that.
And probably the content.
Because we still have Patreon, and I am happy making content there. And I'm kind of tired of YouTube changing the rules, striking old content, just out of the blue. And at this point, I'm kind of over it. Like,
dude,
I'm
so
tired.
sad.
I'm tired of just doing absolutely nothing and then just getting struck for for shit that's already been on their platform for ages. So yeah, we'll continue making content on Patreon, and we are officially probably done with YouTube. And thanks again, everyone on Patreon, for supporting us and, you know, making this a lot less stressful and a lot less tough for me, because I think we already migrated like everybody over. So that's like our official platform now. So
that's awful.
Yeah. Peace.
See, the obvious issue with making content only on Patreon is you can't grow on Patreon, right? Like, YouTube will introduce you to new people, right? YouTube puts you in front of new eyeballs. So, because your community always shrinks if you leave it alone. If you leave your community alone, your community will shrink, just because over time people leave, obviously. Like, people that watched me 10 years ago probably are not still watching me today. And if they are, probably less of them. So I definitely have a lot of dead subscribers on my channel, for example, just by the fact that you have people that just over time, they grow out of your content, which makes a lot of sense. So you can't keep growing on YouTube. You can't keep growing if you're only using your own audience. You can only shrink. So now that they're on Patreon, they have no way to access new people. So their community will over time just shrink and shrink. And it's a terrifying mindset. They really need to figure out a way to post content other places. Either focus more on streams with highlights on Patreon, or focus on posting shit to Twitter or TikTok or something. Like, there's no good alternative. YouTube is obviously the biggest platform. That's awful. Oh, I'm so sorry for them. That's so stressful. All the years of fighting over that shit. I mean, ultimately, their YouTube journey was definitely a success. Like, they got 1.5 billion views on YouTube, dude. Just looking at their stats, it's so sad. MxR Plays, banned, right? No videos on their channel. But they got 1.5 billion views. That's pretty fucking awesome. Like, ultimately, it was a huge success, and they built up a Patreon, but that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. Fuck. Did you get them in contact with your YouTube guy? I did contact my YouTube guy about it, and he looked into it. I didn't get too much feedback. Ultimately, I don't. Like, I don't want to say that I get why YouTube banned them, but, like, because I don't think it's fair that their systems will monetize a video and approve it, and then, despite the fact that they approve the video, they'll give you a strike for it later. I think that fucking sucks, but, like, approve the video, they'll give you a strike for it later. I think that fucking sucks, but, like, but this clip, I would never post this on YouTube, for example. It's just a sucky situation. Fuck, dude. I hope they're okay. Wishing them nothing but the best. Good job, past Nux. I'll take it from here. Just to reiterate, apparently the clip that they were banned for was blurred in their video. And I was reacting to where they showed the full clip that was not blurred. Apparently it was blurred, I don't know. But the point is, if YouTube okays it, it should be okay. The idea of going retroactively back in time to strike someone for this old stuff and they lose their career over it is insane and inhuman. Something important to note also, if you delete a video, you could still get a strike on the deleted video, and you can't appeal the strike anymore because the video is deleted. How could you appeal the video to them if the video is deleted? Let that sink in. You could get a strike on a video that is no longer on the platform, and it can't be reviewed because it's not on the platform. This is either maliciously dumb or impressively negligent, but alas, it is the case. Tangentially, I hate the idea of going back to somebody's old content that was pre-approved by YouTube and taking it down because it violates current day guidelines. I think that sets a terrible precedent to, well, YouTube potentially going around and just whacking anybody because they decided, oh, they don't want drama videos on the platform anymore. Oh, the word fuck? That's a racial slur now, going against people that aren't virgins. We're retroactively banning anyone that said that. Now, again, kind of on a tangent, a little teeny itty bitty one. I've been making content on YouTube for like 10 years now. I hate a lot of my old content. I think it was not good content. I think the thumbnails I used, which at the time were acceptable because of shock humor crap, are something that I have grown past and something that I don't do anymore. A lot of you may not remember that I used to be a anime community nerd, and I loved it there, and I love me some good animes, and I eventually branched out. My content has changed over time, still do love me some animes, but if you go back in time 3-4 years and you look at the thumbnails of that era in the anime community, it's not something I would necessarily put my stamp of approval on today. And you don't need to take my word for it. Look at Joey, the anime man, biggest anime channel on the platform. Look at his thumbnails from 3-4 years ago, and they are not the same thumbnails that even he is doing today. For whatever reason, that shock culture was around then. Putting, frankly, immoral shit on thumbnails was kind of the name of the game, as much as I hate that it was in retrospect. You want to call me a hypocrite for changing some of my old thumbnails? That's acceptable. I call it recognizing that you are a bit of a dumbass. But judging the worth of someone's character due to errors of their past that they have since tried to rectify is not the same as YouTube judging errors of one's past based on an arbitrary rule system that they've come up to enforce judgment upon the heathens on the platform. If YouTube accepts something as monetizable content and doesn't see it as an issue, it should be grandfathered into the YouTube rules and should not in retrospect be taken down 10 months later and given a community guideline strike because of it. Moving into VTuber world, I have had a sinking suspicion, and I believe it's basically been confirmed to me at this point, at least subjectively, that VTubers are not treated in the same way that regular human fleshy YouTubers are. Now, I'm not gonna take this to a racist place and say that you just hate people that are two-dimensional. No, but that was the end of the sentence. I was actually looking into this a while ago and got no definitive evidence, and because there's never going to be definitive evidence. However, I spoke to a lot of clippers that specifically clipped VTubers. The strikes and age restrictions on their videos were absolutely mind-boggling. A flesh tuber can say some and we'd be totally fine with it, and then a VTuber will do the same and then for some reason, YouTube will count that as sexual content, but will not count the real-life human being that says that as sexual content. I don't know if YouTube regards VTubers as you know, ecchi anime or like hentai characters in real life or some shit like that, but VTubers are definitely given the short end of the stick when it comes to sexual content, especially when it comes to short clips. Because if you take a 1-minute clip of someone saying something sussy-wussy, then you got 100% of the video sussy-wussy content, and you know, you don't want YouTube to just say, oh, that's degenerate, we're taking that down immediately. Which I believe is actually the case for a lot of VTubers, and VTuber clippers especially can attest to this. I spoke to Cooksy, I spoke to a bunch of other VTuber clippers. Everyone suffers from the same issue, crazy age restrictions and strikes. Now, a friend of mine, Shylily, her clip channel on YouTube was recently taken down, which is insane, because why the f would it be taken down? Why would you take down her clip channel, but her actual YouTube channel, which is highlights of her streams, is not taken down? But the clip channel, which is really short, and usually sussy-wussy clips, that gets taken down. That's gonzo. That violates the guidelines. Sexual content, yeah, it's over. Now, Shylily is not some small creator, is not someone that had hate brigades sent against her to rash report her. Shylily is a unanimously loved, incredibly wholesome content creator, not just because she has a blowhole, but for some reason, the clip channel was still removed. That sucks, and I really would like it to be back, despite the storm that Shylily has been causing on Twitter, and everyone's been talking about it. For some reason, YouTube just turns a deaf ear and blind eye to the situation and just doesn't budge because YouTube just doesn't need to budge. They're a soulless corporate entity and will never ever decide to do something that they decided already not. Why should they change their mind on something if they could simply just dick you over and not change their mind to do that? Now, finally, I would like to address the elephant in the room. I want to talk about the very wrongful termination of Bungo Taiga's YouTube channel and why I think spreading the word for him to get reinstated is very important. First, we must talk backstory. In July 2022, Taiga was accused of grooming, pedophilia, abusing his mods, racism, transphobia, asking for the lewds of a 17-year-old when he was 19, and commissioning shota hentai, which is lolly porn of little anime boys, and being inappropriate with his community in regards to the shota stuff. Now, this isn't a Bungo Taiga video. I'm just trying to set the stage so you understand basically the story here. But after these accusations dropped, Taiga left the internet for about 5 months, and I was on a video with Charlie where we were talking about corporate VTuber drama, like the HoloLive dramas and the Niji dramas before the Niji dramas really went nuclear. And when he asked me about Taiga, I said, I don't know the full story, but apparently he's a pedo. I was wildly irresponsible making a claim like that, as there was not sufficient evidence for that shit. The DMs that were leaked were not of that shit. And 2 months later, Taiga was exonerated of the grooming allegations by a private eye that he hired, and I made a huge up. Without hyperbole, this was the biggest mistake of my career, and I am deeply, deeply sorry for spreading misinformation and for causing any undue hate to be sent Taiga's way. I am sorry for how I handled that. I'm sorry for how I said it. I have tried to do better since then, and I will continue to try to do better in the future. Anywho, I immediately apologized to Taiga privately, as well as cut that portion out of the video. I added a pinned comment explaining my mistake. I also apologized again publicly on our podcast in the first 10 minutes of an episode, which, by the way, got way more views than the video where I originally peddled the false allegation. Maybe not sub count wise, but relevancy wise, the Some Ordinary podcast was my biggest platform. I'll play the clip here because somehow people don't know this exists. And I regret it because he, you know, I don't know if it's true. He ended up coming back with some sort of response. I don't know, this guy Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that I even alleged something like that. And like, because a friend told me, and I believed him. Every time this topic came up, I apologized, be it in streams or videos, as I really do try to take accountability when I screw up. 2 years later, in the present day, it seems like the public narrative is, I never apologized publicly. This is untrue. It also is that I refuse to talk about this, and I'm sweeping it under the rug. This is also untrue. But also, in the wake of Taiga getting banned, people on YouTube seem to be blaming me for his unjust ban, which is wildly untrue as well. I think Taiga believes his channel was banned due to being mass reported by people harassing him, and I think that he thinks most of that harassment is coming from me. I very much don't believe either of those two things are the case. First of all, I don't think that after 2 years of a tangential mention of Taiga, which I f***ed up, and I admit I f***ed up, and I am sorry for the plus the retraction of that statement and the apologies that I've made, I don't think it's my audience harassing Taiga right now. And second of all, I spoke to people at YouTube about bans due to mass reporting specifically. They told me direct mass reporting channels does not get them banned under any circumstances. It may put them under a microscope to be reviewed by YouTube reviewers, and then for YouTube reviewers to decide about whether the channel should be banned or not for whatever reason, but the mass reporting does not incite the ban. There are a lot more cases of a lot more prominent and hated content creators that are still on YouTube, and quite frankly, maybe shouldn't be. So I saw some sussy-wussy clips of Taiga floating around, which is why I personally believe that it probably was a termination due to sexual content. Especially because it lines very, very well up with all these other VTubers that are literally getting ass blasted by YouTube for sexual content, like Shylily's Clip channel. Do you know that a lot of debuts for HoloLive and Nijisanji end up getting their accounts locked for sexual content? In the VTuber agency Mythos, Apollo and Hades, two content creators there, each got sexual content community guideline strikes on their channels for bull reasons, doing content that does already exist on YouTube, yet theirs got the strikes. Unfortunately, I think YouTube is very much dialing up its awful banning policies across the board, and I think VTubers are heavily caught in this crossfire. If anyone at YouTube sees this, I really do wish you would take a better look at how you approach VTubers and creators that have already gotten their videos approved by the monetization teams in the past. I think you should reinstate MxR Plays, Bungo Taiga, and Shylily Clips. I don't know, maybe this approach will help. It's just, I've been seeing this happen to so many people so much recently, and frankly, it fucking sucks.